Hello everyone, you join me today with the 2023 Volvo XC90 Recharge, and can I just say right off the bat, a congratulations needs to go out to those that were in charge of the design of this Volvo XC90 from the start. It's been with us for nearly a decade and it still looks fresh. It's, I think, going to be quite a timeless design, and more than anything, in the premium luxury SUV space, despite not being all that new, it is still quite desirable. For a mid-size SUV, there aren't that many that are built as 3 rows. The Recharge can be either a 6 or 7-seater, but there has been some updates recently to really make the Volvo XC90 all the more compelling. Some things do age this Volvo though, and we will return to them later. And we'll start off with the most notable changes that I experienced getting into this product, because it's been quite some time since I reviewed an XC90, and there has been some exterior tweaks. We've got a little bit cleaner of a front and rear fascia. You'll actually see at the back there is no exhaust outlets built in to the design. Volvo's one of the manufacturers that has its sights set on being a pure EV company and whatever deadline it is, and really they're just trying to bridge that gap with their design by, even if they've got a gasoline engine under the bonnet, not having exhaust pipes. But anyways, that's not really that interesting. What is interesting seeing primarily is a different user interface on the same screen, and giving it a little more capability. And so far I have mixed feelings. There's some fun stuff that you can do with it, such as you have Google Maps integration and YouTube integration, so when you're parked up, maybe even recharging your Recharge, you have the ability to watch a YouTube video, interact with the screen same way you would anything else. I'm sure it really depends on the tethering to the phone or the nearest cell tower that determines the fidelity of the video. And realistically, it's not that bad, but if I'm the only one in my car watching a video, I'm just going to be watching it on my phone. It brings over capability of Google Maps. You can see you can pinch and zoom and all these other wonderful things on the main screen, and also have that displayed on the digital instrument cluster. But if you're using Apple CarPlay, you can't use your Google Maps in Apple CarPlay to have that functionality show up in the main screen as well. I hope that's something that can be addressed in the future. And just for clarification, at the time of this filming, I do have my phone on iOS 17, which is the most up-to-date iOS. Some of the things that add wrinkles to the age of this Volvo include the fact that the leathers in here are quite grainy, really not up to the snuff of what you would hope to see in other 6-figure SUVs. There's some surfaces that feel a bit hollow, just don't feel as substantial as maybe you'd like. Now, to talk about the mechanical differences, the XC90 did get a larger battery pack. You now get 53 kilometers of pure electric range thanks to the larger 14.9 kilowatt hour battery pack. And I believe in those numbers. When I picked it up, it had a full gas tank and a full battery pack, and I easily did 50 kilometers. The steering consistency is a problem in that it is too consistent. It stays the same weight no matter how fast or how slow you're going into any corner. But this is clearly not the kind of car that you want to be pushing about. Volvo knows this, and hopefully you know this too going into the test drive. It's a vehicle that I think its one trick for driving enthusiasm is that it does have a fair amount of power. 455 peak horsepower, 513 pound-feet of peak torque. So you will pick up speed very rapidly, be very excitable, but really you should slow down well before you come to the corner, because that's when the ride and the steering input, that all kind of falls apart. I'd say there's nothing wrong with the brake calibration. That feels good in this product. Really, one of my biggest annoyances with the driving experience of this Volvo is that there isn't an easy way to immediately change over the hybrid or the power delivery driving modes. You have to go into the system menu to find the 5 different options: power, pure, hybrid, constant, all-wheel drive, and off-road. I'm not so concerned about that, but what I would like a physical button for is maybe the ability to hold the amount of juice left in the battery pack, or charge it up if I wanted to use the twin charged 4-cylinder 2-litre engine as a generator. And for some anecdotal evidence, I was driving for about an hour and a half on a highway, used the charge mode, and I got from 0 to about 30 kilometers of charge indicated. And with that, that consumed half a more litre of gas per every 100 kilometers. And cost weight benefit, unless you want to be entering an environment where you really want zero emissions, that mode holds value, but otherwise I think most people will just wait where they plug in at home, where surely electricity comes at a much cheaper rate than half a litre worth of fuel does. Unlike the majority of proper EVs and some plug-in hybrids, you don't have fast charging capability with this Volvo XC90. Some other grievances I'd like to share is that I do find these seats supportive, but they are firm. And I know it's an issue with the seats because a lot of my driving has been glassy smooth, beautiful highways where the suspension in this is barely working. Even though we have big wheels, it's not really making that much of an impact. But my lower back does seem to feel a little bit of strain needlessly, and that in my mind is a bit of a shame. But with all that, that's my quick review of the Volvo XC90 Recharge, a very likable product, and still I think holds merit. If it's on sale for another 10 years, I think Volvo won't be in such a bad situation. So thank you very much for your time, and I hope to see you again on the channel soon.